What's going on, everybody? Today is Thursday, May 23rd, 2024, and I have a fever. But we're doing this anyway because there's no other time to do it. So let's do it. Let's get into it. All right. Well, my name is John Dunphy Hussein. Of course, still standing my beautiful fake bride, Miss Jamila Hussein. And of course, I'm joined, as always, by my fellow tribe mates, Miss Gina Morgino and Mr. Mikey Mormon Petty. How you guys doing?
Doing good. I want to be clear that while I accept the Petty as in honor of Kyle tonight, this is Kenzie Petty that I am standing here. Not that I'm not always standing Kyle Petty, because that is true.
Right.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah.
Fair statement.
That's right. Yeah.
Kyle, who beat
sorry.
me in the draft. Oh, sorry. I was going to say Kyle, who beat me in the draft and didn't even show up to rub it in my face.
Sort of. He beat you in the winner pick, but you still won the season.
Yeah, you won the
in a sense.
the fantasy.
Not
draft.
in a sense, technically.
Yeah, you did, right? This is the final team season totals right here. Gina
I'll,
with
I'll
500
take a win somewhere.
points.
I'll take
You
that.
actually kind of annihilated us.
Yeah. Gina wins the fantasy draft. Kyle wins the actual draft itself. Kenzie.
At least I won something, finally.
Yeah. Which, congratulations,
So close.
Kenzie.
So close.
I also never said we're Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. So find us on the socials
sorry.
at Strat Chat Pod. That's all we get tonight. I'm
No,
tired.
I cut him off. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We are unfortunately without Kyle tonight. He is celebrating a birthday party, so he'll be back with us sometime soon. But let's get into this episode. Any initial thoughts? I know there's a lot of big things going on like Twitter.
Oh my God, yeah.
Right. For one thing, I've seen that Maria and Charlie are no longer really quite friends.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Charlie has reached out to Maria on social. Maria has reached out to Charlie and has said that she regrets her vote for Kenzie and wishes she had voted for Charlie. And then apparently has changed her story multiple times about why she decided to vote for Kenzie over Charlie. And I saw a post on Twitter. Maybe I can find it for you guys, but it was Charlie literally saying I will not I don't want Maria to get any hate on social media, but our friendship isn't going to be a thing anymore.
Yeah, I think it was from the Mike Bloom interview, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
A lot of posts stuff come out of those.
Wait, question. If Maria didn't vote for Charlie, who was his third vote? It was
he had
Soda voted.
Yeah. Soda.
And
I assumed the third one was Maria.
I didn't hear the other name you said, Mikey.
Yeah.
Hunter and Soda were
Hunter,
ones that we saw.
Yeah. And who was the other one?
Let me see if I can find out.
I didn't. Weird. I guess I know. Oh, you know why I didn't? Because I didn't finish. I watched right up to when Kenzie won, but then I stopped because I had to take a shower, so I didn't watch.
Oh, sure. No, because that was there's a lot of discourse about that, because had Maria voted Charlie, it would have been a tie. And Ben in the Mike Bloom interview said that if there was a tie, he was voting Charlie.
Oh, really?
So Maria is literally the reason why he lost.
Right.
That's crazy. I'm surprised she didn't vote for him. I don't know. Kenzie did have a great final tribal.
Right.
She did, and it was very clear from the jump that I don't know if it was Tiffany's sway at the jury at Ponderosa or what, but it was clear from the jump that they were sort of endeared towards her.
Mm-hmm.
I felt for most of it, with the exception of Q, who was going for her.
Yeah,
and
that
then
was wild.
I was surprised that he was one of the votes for her.
Well, he said, I don't know if this happened while you were watching or if this was the live after show or whatever, but he said literally the reason why he chose the winner, he was basing it purely off of their answer to his question. Because he asked oh, what are you going to do with the money? And he was literally, that is what I was basing my vote off of, is that the answer to that question. And
you know what? That's fair as hell. If they made it that far, that's a lot of money to put in someone's hands. So I get that. I get that mindset for sure. And I think that in that case, that's the right choice.
Yeah. Oh man, it really is just wild. I feel bad for Maria and Charlie. Like they were so tight, and then now they're just not going to be friends. Maybe they'll make up at some point. I'm sure in the future.
Maybe.
Um,
It does kind of suck that he's like holding that again. I mean, unless there's more to the story, which I'm sure there is. But like the whole.
Yeah, apparently they've spoken quite a bit, and she keeps changing her story about why she decides to vote for Kenzie instead of him, and that's part of it. It's like, first it was, it's not about friendship, it's about competition, and then all of a sudden she was telling Charlie that she actually voted for Kenzie as like a woman empowerment thing. So like the story keeps shifting about why she didn't vote for Charlie, and I keep seeing people on social media also saying like, Tiffany is like the perfect example of like a good ally, like. Kenzie is literally talking in Final Tribal Council about how she was like planning at some point to try to blindside Tiffany, and Tiffany was still riding for Kenzie, like still like very much in support of her and voting for her.
I loved that energy from her the whole time. Yeah. It was fantastic, especially like in that like little thing with Q where it was like Tiffany was like no, and I think too like that moment too because it was like Kenzie and Tiff VQ, and the fact that she came to Kenzie's back there like probably made a huge difference with the rest of the jury.
Oh, for sure. Because also, Mikey, to answer your question, Liz was the third vote for Charlie.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me.
Okay. Yeah, we got to talk about Liz a little bit too. What did you think about her being like, "Oh, I would have destroyed you four if I had stayed in," or whatever, or that you three or whatever?
Venus's reaction in the jury when she said that is just about my reaction to what the hell
I love that they cut to Venus in that moment because she was like, "Early,
what's going on? That woman is insane." What was going in her head?
Mikey, I don't know if you saw this either because I don't know how much you've like been on socials or whatever, but she in like a lot of her interviews and exit press and on Twitter and stuff was like, "I'm actually not a millionaire. I am struggling as a single mother to like." Support 3 households with like no income. I told people that I was a millionaire so that they would underestimate me and think that I didn't want it as badly. And my strategy was to pretend to be a millionaire. And my big gotcha moment at Final Tribal Council was going to be revealing that, but I never got that far.
Sounds like a terrible strategy.
I don't know why.
A horrific strategy. And also,
I don't know why.
It makes sense considering she was talking about how she goes to Applebee's every week. Like, those two things don't exactly jive.
I just like that is such a bizarre strategy of like, I'm gonna pretend I don't need the money at all. Like, who's gonna wanna? I don't know.
Because I understand like the thought process of like, oh, like at the Final Tribal, all of a sudden they're like, oh, she's not like that's like I sort of get where she's coming from there, but like you have to make it to the Final Tribal. And if you're going around talking about how you're a millionaire, people off the cuff are not going to want to take you to the end.
Literally, that is the reason why Ben sent her to fire. He was like, she doesn't need the money like the rest of us do. So why am I going to just hand her a free ride to the finale?
It was interesting too with him because it was him and Liz were both under the impression that no one could beat Liz. Where it's like Charlie was literally out there. He was like, I could beat Liz. Like, and he could. Absolutely.
Right.
If it was him up there with Liz and Ben, he still would have won.
Oh, 100%.
Right. There, part of the argument that I saw, like, from Ben, like, for Liz possibly being able to win was just the fact that there were 4 Nami tribe members on the jury before Liz went. Do you think that would have played anything into it? Probably not. I don't think so.
Because we saw, like, the whole season, basically, that Nami was not tight.
Yeah.
Nami ate each other alive.
Right. Like, how about the fact that we got to the Final Tribal Council with our last 3 players and not a single Nami member was there after they were invincible all season. Pre-merge anyway. So, really wild.
We could have had Venus if only she'd played that freaking idol.
I know.
Lord. Okay, Kyle, we get it. You won. No, congratulations, Kyle. Kenzie is a very deserving winner, but I'm pissed. I was right there.
I gotta say, I just want to throw this out there. I know it doesn't matter. Kenzie was on my list. I was gonna draft her the moment aligned and then I realized her last name was Petty. And
none of us could possibly have chosen her. That was Kyle's pick.
I should have just been like, I'm so sorry, Kyle, I'm about to do this, and then done it. I regret it. I regret it so much.
Literally, like, before we even started the draft, he was like, nobody's allowed to pick her. She's a petty. And we were like, yeah, you're right.
Ridiculous. Typical.
Well, should this be the rule for anyone that has, like, if there's a Morgino or a Dunphy or a Marmon?
I highly doubt you're going to see a Morgino on the next season of Survivor.
There will be no Marmons, I can guarantee it. Unless it's like someone I'm actually related to, in which case, then yeah, I would like them on my team. But right. I feel like if there's a Marmon on Survivor, it's going to be me.
That's so fair. Listen, I would gladly play Survivor. My only stipulation is I need to have a functioning bathroom. If everything else is exactly the same, but I have a bathroom, I will play Survivor.
I'm not
peeing in the ocean. I'm not doing it.
To you, Gina. I hate to see.
I know that's why I'm not playing. That's literally that's the only reason I won't play.
Isn't the problem though? Like peeing in the ocean is easy. It's the pooping in the ocean that I would be
I don't want to talk
about
pooping on the podcast.
That's the hard part. Peeing is nothing.
Literally, that is my one deterrent from Survivor is the lack of bathroom. Everything else, I'm down.
That's it. That is so far from the problem for me. But
no, literally anything else, I'll put up with it for a month. That's fine. It's the bathroom.
Less than a month.
Just embrace the aqua dump. All right. Jeez.
Matt Plevin said, Gina, that's called Big Brother. Yeah, girl, I know. I've tried for that one.
Oh man, you know what killed me in this episode too was why did we have to hear Liz cracking her wrists so much in this episode? When she was talking about she can't make fire because of her big ligaments or whatever what the reason was.
I feel like every episode she had a different ailment that was like taught to us. I'm like, what is going on with this girl?
How did she make it past medical? Is my question.
Wasn't there someone on Big Brother several seasons ago also that like said that they had like 20 different illnesses? Like there was always some other.
That was Raven.
Oh, Raven, that's right.
Here's the thing. I don't think I would have believed her, but like being able to crack your wrist like that is not normal. So the fact that there was like video proof of that, I was like, all right, sure. You know what? I believe you.
I was laying in my bed today watching it because I felt so shitty. And we got to that part and I just covered my ears and started going, stop it. Please stop it. Stop cracking your damn wrists. God. And she had to do it again for Ben later on. I hate that. I hated it so much. I'm curious. Like Maria obviously like dominated this game. She almost like tied a record for, immunity challenge wins and stuff. So what do you think the downfall for her game was? Like to go from like so like loved by everybody to like I'm seeing so many people on social media being like Maria's like the biggest villain of the season. She's bitter, this and that. Like, do you think that working with Q is what like if she hadn't gone that route, do you think that maybe we wouldn't be where we are now?
I don't necessarily think it was working with Q that brought her down. It was the fact that she missed that shot. The fact that she
taking the
missed
shot on
the shot at Charlie is what brought her down, because then Charlie was able to turn around, and because if Charlie had taken the shot at Maria specifically, like he took the shot at Q, but like that's not really the same thing. Like if he had taken the shot at Maria and missed, and then Maria turned around to get Charlie out, I think we'd be like, you know what I mean? Like you're much more endeared to the person who is the victim in that situation. And even though like we know Charlie was gunning for Maria, I think because of that, I think that was her major downfall right there for me, at least. I also do think like it's interesting that the whole thing about Charlie like post game is that like she keeps changing her story because I noticed a couple times in the season like the story changed with her too, and like I don't think she's a villain per se, but like there were certain things that were shady with her in that
right.
in that alliance specifically, especially when coming back from the beach after missing the shot at Charlie at the beginning of this episode and like literally lying to Charlie's face about it all.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's that vote, and the way she handled the outcome of it is what brought her down.
Right. Was she cursed because of the rock, paper, scissors at the reward, the Applebee's reward? Was it an Applebee's curse?
The Applebee's curse. Oh no. Maybe.
But all right. I'm trying to think. What else do you guys? Anything in mind that you guys have from this episode? I mean, Ben winning a his first immunity challenge was great. I was really
the
happy.
last
for him
one too.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good
With
for
all the
him.
night terrors and all the stress he's been under, I was really glad to see him get an immunity win. That was cool.
I was rooting for Kenzie in that moment because I thought it would be funny if she also was like one away from that record, and because then it's not nearly as impressive for Maria. I was like, yeah, let her get it. But it was really nice to see Ben pull one out, especially because like he's struggled the whole season. The fact that he was able to even make it to the final tribal is like such a miracle. So like that, I was really happy for him there. That was awesome.
And he got to go to the sanctuary.
Yes,
for the first time. Yeah, good job, Ben. Good job, Benzie. I was trying to find the posts that Charlie put up, like kind of explaining his side of the Maria stuff.
I didn't see him post it. I saw someone else share like a screen grab of the interview.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I saw. Oh, here it is.
You got it.
Yeah, it says, so this is from Charlie's a quote. There's been a lot of switching up in terms of her reasoning, and I've given her a lot of grace, including her telling me that she regretted voting for Kenzie weeks after the game, and then telling me after that she couldn't have any regrets. So she didn't regret that anymore. So I did my best to understand and be a good friend, but just the last couple days, I think it's just a little too deep. I'm not going to put the effort into that relationship just the same. So no ill will towards her. I don't want any internet ill will towards her. But in terms of our relationship, we don't have to be friends. I don't dislike her, but it definitely won't be what it could have been. And he also mentioned it feels to him like she's doing all of this now, changing up stories to try to save face from like the backlash she's been receiving, Maria. So, I don't know.
Very interesting.
I also too, like, speaking of this like Charlie and Maria thing, I want to go back because where was it? Yeah, so Map Levins was saying that Charlie looked really devastated at the after show, and then says to get rid of the after shows. And I honestly, I don't know why we are still doing this. Like, if you know, it's the people who lost with no votes and like now have to deal with the fact that nobody wanted them to win, but also the people like Charlie who like just barely, they were right there. And Charlie even says in the after show, like, I kept hearing my name being read in these votes, and like as I would see more and more votes for me, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna happen, like this is gonna completely change my life, I can't believe it. And then to lose and find out that you lost by your number one's vote, and then immediately have to go into the live after show while you're still processing this, you're still dealing with it in real time, and now like Jeff is looking at you like, Charlie, how does it feel to know that Maria is the reason why you didn't win $1 million? It's like, let him like have some time and revisit the after show after everyone's either watched the season or just like had a couple of weeks to breathe, like process it a little bit.
The live finale is so much better, I think, because the other thing too that it's missing, and granted, I didn't watch this version, I didn't watch this after show this time around, I just didn't get to it. But I think what it's missing is like when it's a live finale, first of all, the whole cast is there. So you get everyone from the first vote out to the end.
Yeah.
Second of all, like they're able to go back and Jeff is able to ask way more relevant questions because he's able to ask questions like based on what the fan reaction is.
Sure.
As opposed to, and like you're still, like they've always had to deal with the finding out you've lost and then like going into the after show. That's always been a thing because the winners are used to be read at the after show. Yeah. So like that's always been an issue. But it's much easier when you're further separated from it. I would imagine like it's, and also I just think it's much better to like see them well fed and done up, like just like healthy. You're able to process that much more clearly. I think I miss the live finale.
I hate the immediate reunion after like they're still like
it's
none of them, they haven't gone home yet, like they still haven't eaten, like the final three hasn't showered, like give them a minute.
let them be with their families there too. You know, like that's such a huge moment, and like people want to share that like with the people they love, and like while everyone loves each other on the island, apparently, which I get, but you're not there with your husband or your parents or your siblings. Like let them like enjoy that moment with somebody they like truly care about, you know? I don't know. I think it made sense during COVID. I get why they started this version of it, but we're past it.
And nobody likes it. Like, none of the fan base enjoys it. Everybody's like, stop doing this. Like, nobody's having a good time with these immediate after shows.
Right.
No.
Yeah, it's really annoying. And I feel like if I was one of those last three, especially, like, I'd be like, Jeff, I really don't care about this pizza party. I'm going to take a pizza with me to Ponderosa, and I'm going to get into a bed. I've been out here for 26 days. I do not care about your questions right now.
Yeah, I feel like unless you are the person that won, no one's going to be enjoying that. Like, literally, Charlie the entire time, like, was having trouble looking people in the eye. And, like, you could tell he was just, like, trying so hard to, like, process what just happened. And it's like, why are you putting him through now, like, asking him these pointed questions of like, and how do you feel right now? You see how he feels right now. He's not having a good time. Let him sleep in a bed and ask him tomorrow, you know?
Yeah.
It also, I think too, it takes a little bit of the pressure off the people that won because there are more people to ask questions to.
Sure.
In the old version of it, because you would be able to go to Jelinski and talk about several seven for a little bit. You'd be able to like really like kind of like hit like all the major points of the season and like ask Jem about being the first one voted out with the idol and starting the curse, you know, like that kind of stuff. And I think that's really missing from this finale.
Yeah, I agree. I do. I was glad it was a 5-3 vote, like a close vote though, instead of like unanimous.
I still think, what's the point of a final three if we've never had a final three where there was a third person that got a vote? There's never been a third vote.
Not even there hasn't been like one.
I don't think so. I don't remember there.
It in between two people.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'd have to look. I mean, maybe someone in the comments will help us out.
Also, can we just? I don't think I have the ability to do it. But Kyle made a comment a little bit ago that I just want to make a face to.
Oh man!
Oh,
you had a rough season, Mikey. Oh wow! Definitely can't forget to talk about. So we talked about Ben winning the second immunity challenge that we saw, but the first one, Liz was the star of also because she decided I'm going to help out Kenzie to make sure Maria loses. What did you think of the assistance provided by Liz? Did you like it? Do you not think this should be allowed?
I didn't know it was allowed, honestly.
I saw some people saying like it was cheating or whatever, but I feel like we've seen
there's
this
always
sort of thing before.
That has always been a thing. I can't think of anything specific off the top of my head, but helping others out, there's never been anything against that. And I think if you are willing to sacrifice your chance at immunity, no matter how far back you are, like because there's always that thing where it's like anything could happen. If you're willing to sacrifice your chance at immunity to help somebody else get theirs, I think that should be okay, personally. And I also wanted Kenzie to win, so.
Right. I had no problem with it. I had no problem with it whatsoever. So
happy. Listen, I was rooting for her this whole time, so I felt good about it.
No, I was here for it. I didn't know. I don't think that I've ever seen that happen in any of the seasons I've watched. So I didn't know that it was like a thing that you could do.
I don't know if I've seen it like so explicitly, but there's definitely been like points where like people like yell out answers or like give people and like coach people through stuff. Like I'm coming up blank on any specific examples, but
I feel like
it's definitely
remember. Yeah, I also remember even in like Australian Survivor, I feel like there were the most recent one. There were times where they were maybe in teams and like two teams helped each other over someone else or something.
Yeah,
I don't remember. All right,
because if it was cheating, Jeff would have said no.
Right.
Absolutely.
In the moment, like he would have been like, nope, can't do that.
Yeah. Oh, totally. All right. Do you guys have anything else for this episode? Is there anything I'm forgetting before we kind of look at our last point sheets and everything and see where everybody ended up?
I just wanted to say I'm really proud of Kenzie. I honestly do think she deserved this win. I think it was clear that she made the big, like, while she might not have made the more moves than Charlie, like more big flashing moves, I think like it was very clear that she was able to like that her social game was like very, very strong. And I think she was literally, I mean, the only vote she got before this was the vote from Ben, which was a mistake.
Yeah.
And I think like it was like a strong social game is just as valid, I think, as a strong strategic game, and like she won 2 immunities. She had like, there was strategy there from the beginning. She said it's like she played it that she was on the outs at the beginning, or like she was not in the majority. But like I honestly think she was running the pre-merge.
Oh yeah.
I'm blanking on the name of that tribe right now.
Yanu.
Yanu. I think she was kind of running that tribe, like low key. I don't know.
I agree.
I think her game was very strong, and I also think it like she also came at the game like always from like a very positive and like pleasant outlook.
Yeah,
which was really cool to see. Also,
sorry.
I just wanted to. There's one more thing. The fact she always looks so fucking pretty on that island. I don't understand it.
There was
At
one moment
times.
in this episode where she came out and I was like, why does her hair low-key look like she's got a blowout? Like you're on an island and haven't showered in a month. Why do you look like that?
She is stunning. The fact that she's standing up there next to like Ben, who like is looking a mess. Charlie's looking a mess, and she's standing there like she looked like she just came out of the makeup trailer.
Like, what the hell,
I
man?
understand. It's crazy. I guess. I mean, like that's the career, I guess. But like, shit, she's so pretty.
She's gorgeous.
Having a baby, right? Or had a baby?
I think she's announced she was pregnant. I don't know.
Yeah,
okay.
I think she announced like
It's
literally on Mother's Day that she's pregnant.
Ah,
so
right.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm so happy for her.
Got it. I didn't realize, but I thought it was awesome that when she mentioned that if she didn't win the reward herself, she was brought to the sanctuary every time for the reward.
I didn't realize that until she said it.
Yeah.
And that says something about the way you play the game, because that means that people either want you there strategically or want you there personally.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at these point charts, shall we? This is the final one. Ben did a lot of crying in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
He won an immunity challenge.
Also
pretty good
worth
episode.
noting here that the reason that the points don't add up at the end there is because there's no 10, 20, or 30. The winner gets 30 points. The second place gets 20 points. The third place gets 10 points, but there's just no thing for that. So I had to put those in manually. Also, I would like to note that Kenzie got the immunity win points, but I did throw Liz a point for the assist there, which isn't on the point chart, but
fair.
I felt like it was fair. Felt like she earned
absolutely. That's fair. That's fair. Obviously, as the winner, Kenzie absolutely killed it. Ben got second place, so he came up with 42.5 points. Liz with 12, and Maria a measly 0.5.
A measly 0.5.
Also, something worth noting too, like even without her winner points, Kenzie would have won the episode.
Oh wow,
I thought was interesting. But also another thing to point out, which I thought was interesting, was that like the confessional counts. Kenzie only had 5 on this episode as the winner, whereas Ben and Charlie both had 11.
Huh. Oh wow, that's a very large difference.
It was interesting because at the beginning of the episode, it like sort of was the way, because we didn't hear from Kenzie until that first challenge, I don't think, and so it was like really like at the beginning of the episode, I was like, oh, it's between Maria and Charlie, like, but then like it like obviously switched halfway through, but a weird discrepancy there because she usually gets a lot too, so I was surprised to see that shake up that way.
Very interesting. These are the final episode totals that we had. So we looked at these over here, but the team totals, Team Petty with 76.5 points, Team Margino with 43, me and Mikey with nothing.
Hey.
But yeah, Team Margino Dunphy crushed it this episode with the battle of the unwanted draft picks.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, Ben. Ben's the man. Final season totals, Kenzie, geez, 227.5.
Damn.
So there it is.
She was at the top of the point chart for a while there.
Yeah,
and then she got taken over by Charlie and Maria, got her last episode, but then this episode she obviously shot back up to the top. But that's why I think that was like sort of why there was a couple weeks back. I said like I was like, oh, Kenzie could win this. And I think I said that in the podcast. You literally said it
like 4 episodes ago or like 5 episodes ago.
I was like, oh, that's like this could like she could take this, and maybe the points mean something. Maybe I did something right here.
Mikey said, "I got you, editors."
a predicting system.
Yeah, I mean, except for Ben, Kenzie and Charlie were 1 and 2. So, you know, and I mean, like Maria, I understand that she came in third because of all the immunities she won and everything she was involved in throughout the season. So, Yeah.
She had a couple really, really good episodes.
And just, Maria and Charlie, which granted, it's probably because of like the way that the vote shook out, but like Maria and Charlie were like a big rival, like not even rivalry, just like the story of the season was like the two of their relationship, which probably was because it was so devastating that she didn't end up voting for him. But that definitely did her some favors.
Damn. Crazy. And then the final team season totals. Kyle may have won the draft, but Gina does have some bragging rights here.
Even 500.
Yeah.
That's great. Good numbers.
Fantasy point system here. Kyle comes in second with 441, and then me and Mikey in a distant third and fourth.
What do you mean distant?
The fact that I have 500 points and Mikey has 105.5. That's fucking crazy.
I was the first person in the merge. I was done. Also, worth noting too, the unwanted draft. We had you beat in episode points, but you guys had us beat in episode wins. But you guys had us beat in total points. So that was a pretty even shake up there. And they did come in third and fourth too. So that the fact that those were our last two picks.
I literally cannot believe that one of the unwanteds was in the final three and the other one just got out because of fire. Like that is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
also,
man.
I want to Kenzie's I feel like Kenzie's whole story was really cool because they brought it up too. She started with the fact that they started off with no fire, and then she was the one. And I remember this because it was a point. She was the one that made the first fire on her tribe pre-merge once they got the flint. And so the fact that she then came in and had that stress moment and then breathed through it and was able to pull out that fire making challenge, that was cool to see. I think the fire making challenge, winning a fire making challenge, I think really does put you in a position to win the game.
Oh yeah,
with the rest of your game.
I've seen that multiple times be a deciding factor of how the jury is voting.
Gabler.
Well, we don't talk about
it.
We don't talk about Gabler. No.
It's funny too because the last time we were talking, I think before we knew that Maria was going to be eliminated, we were saying does Kenzie have what's her argument against Maria if it's the two of them and someone else in final three? Mm-hmm. And I feel like Kenzie did exactly what she had to. I think we mentioned it too. If Kenzie comes in now and wins an immunity challenge, the fire making challenge, and that's exactly what she did.
Mm-hmm.
Did literally all the things we said she had to do.
Yeah,
the stars aligned.
Yeah.
Because I think if she didn't have those two things, I think Charlie would have taken it.
Yeah, I agree.
If she didn't have that second immunity win, if she didn't have that fire making win, I think Charlie could have won the season. I also think if Charlie had a better final tribal, he could have won. I think it was really, really close between the two of them, and he sort of just fumbled the bag.
Even literally as they were about to read the votes, the jury was like, I have no idea which way this is going.
Yeah. I had the thought too. I was like, I wonder how much quoting Taylor Swift he had planned for that final tribal. And I wonder if it legitimately the thought occurs to me maybe that really swept the rug out from under him.
I saw a lot of people
a certain way.
I saw a lot of people kind of upset, with Tiffany and Final Tribal in general, but specifically in that moment, they were it really sounds like she was right from the jump trying to sway it towards Kenzie because she was I don't want to hear Taylor Swift or rock lyrics or anything. So immediately discounting two of the three people that were in the Final Tribal. And a lot of people were really upset. I mean, I didn't have a problem with the way that Final Tribal went, but a lot of people were pissy with the way.
I understand being upset. However, I do think at this point, the jury is still part of the game. And if you have a preference to win, I think it is just as valid for people in the jury to try to convince each other to vote a certain way as it is for people on the as it is for the people being voted for. And it's interesting because it's that only go if Kenzie has someone that willing to ride or die for her, if she was able to build a connection that strong in the game, I think that is in her favor.
Sure.
I think I would personally, sitting on the jury, I'd be oh, this person really this person made such a huge impact on this person that they are trying so hard to fight for $1 million for them. I think that would endear me to vote for Kenzie just as a principle.
Yeah, definitely, man. But yeah, congratulations, Kenzie, Survivor 46, sole survivor. Anything else on Survivor 46? I'm curious, did you guys watch it all, the first look at season 47?
I did, and one of the Rob Has a Podcast girlies is competing.
Yeah, so I didn't actually watch it because the episode ended and I started watching some of the stuff after the episode, like the reunion stuff, but I just needed to lay down and go to sleep, so I turned it off. But I saw later on social media the rumors about Rob as a podcast co-host being on it. There's also someone else I'm very interested in. This is not John Lovitz, the comedic actor, but there's a guy named John Lovitz who was a former speechwriter for Barack Obama. And he is one of the main hosts of one of my favorite podcasts called Pod Save America. And apparently,
okay, so John and I each get a claim to one person for our draft. Then is what I'm hearing.
That is such an amazing podcast name.
Yeah, Pod Save America. They're great.
That's so good.
Yeah. And apparently he's supposed to be on it, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, I literally when they started playing the preview for the next season, I was kind of like half watching, and I heard Asia's voice, and I was like, hold on, wait a sec. I like rewound it, and I was like, if that's who I think it is, I'm claiming her for my draft right now.
Right. And haven't we been saying for so long, right? Like, it would be awesome to see like a podcast host that we know from one of these podcasts, like actually getting to compete on the show. And like,
and now we have two.
Yeah. Very exciting. But all right, you guys have anything else? I think I am done. I think I'm ready to lay down. But if you have anything else, let me know.
Calling it early.
I think I'm good, man.
I'm looking forward to annihilating you guys next season when I do my blind draft and only pick with no pictures.
One day I will win a draft. It's not today, but maybe it's the challenge.
You won, Gina.
No, I won.
The winner,
it's different.
But you
it's
won.
a different thing. I want a different thing.
But you won a thing, though.
Yes, and I'm very satisfied. And now I'm looking forward to winning all the other things.
Yes, ended up being a fun season towards the end.
At post merge, I was really into it. Pre merge, I was not.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I guess we'll see what happens with 47. If they, what kind of twists they'll have or anything new. But all right, what do we have coming up? I guess we probably won't be around for a little while, right? Not until next Thursday. Yeah. Because we have Memorial Day coming up, so we probably will not be podcasting on Monday like we normally do. We'll be celebrating the holiday. He's got some fireworks going in the background.
For Memorial Day.
Yeah, I love it. And then yes, I believe the next time we'll be streaming will be next Thursday. And because I am a sick man, we will have to do a double stream of the challenge next Thursday, which I'm not looking forward to. But all right, I think that's it. So we are Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. Find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod. Leave us a nice review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We really appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out with us all Survivor season, and we'll see you soon. All right, later.
Lido.